Kim Glanowski with Eden Hope Academy, and I'm so glad that you're joining us for our Cycle 1 activity book review. Cycle 1 is so much fun. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning of time and go forward to the founding of Rome. We're going to be intermixing the Bible with what was happening in the culture at the time, and we're going to learn so much. And we're going to discuss the dynamics and how people, groups were expanding and learning and just all of the intricacies of this period of time. So it's going to be a fantastic year, and I'm so glad that you're going to join us. When your child comes to Eden Hope Academy, they will have their activity book ready to go, and they will do check-in. Now, check-in is where they get stamps for each thing that they have accomplished that week. Now, the first thing that they can get a stamp for is coming on time. Now, this was a mom help, because a lot of times children don't come on time because they can't find their shoes, or they haven't eaten their breakfast, or they don't get up, and things like that. They're kind of slow poking it. But if they know that they're going to get a stamp for coming on time, they will be much more likely to find those shoes the night before and get ready to go. So why also do we want you on time? Because we love you, and we want you part of the community, and we want you to feel ready to start your day and not have the kids coming in and being like, I'm the one who's late. We want everyone to start out together. So come a few minutes early so everyone gets their stamp. The next stamps are for memorizing our Memorize Me music, our memory music. And those are because we're getting all of this great information and this wonderful rich vocabulary into your children's minds. And this is to encourage them to memorize it. The memory verses are quite short. Like the first one is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It's just one sentence and very short. And they should be very approachable for your children. The memory songs can be said. For example, if your child knows the days of creation and they would just like to say those, that's okay. But we try to keep with the memory songs as much as we possibly can. Also, when they do the memory songs for their check-in team, for the check-in team at your campus, they'll do them in groups of 3 or 4. And our reason for that is that sometimes you forget the tune or you forget a word or two, but when you're in a group, you can just sing it very, very well. And if your child hasn't had an opportunity to memorize that week, just tell the ladies there, I haven't had a chance to memorize it that week, and that's okay. But see if they can memorize it the next week, and then they can still get their stamps from that week, so they won't be stamp-free. Never want to be stamp-free. The next part of it is, I've completed my whole book. And this is for the pictures. There are 4 pictures that your child will draw every week at Eden Hope Academy. And so they're super simple. They can be stick figures, they can be very simple, or they can be totally elaborate. Whatever works for your family is great. But you get a stamp for that. Your child gets a stamp for that. And then next is for their 3 timeline cards. Every week we have 3 timeline cards, and in Critical Thinking Skills class, one student is appointed as a leader for each timeline card, and the other students engage in a group discussion about it. And that time is when your child is going to learn to apply information, to speak in a group setting, and to be able to debate ideas with their fellow students. And so these are super important that your child learn from these memory cards, or these timeline cards, and that they do them each week so that they can engage in that conversation. And it's so important for the whole community to do that, because that is what forms that great critical thinking, is when everyone is involved. So make sure your child does those 3 timeline cards each week as well. So that's a check-in process, but it gets really good, because twice a year we have market days with Eden Hope Academy, and the first market day is right before Christmas break, and children bring in something that they've made, and they can be anything. One of my favorite is little plastic Easter eggs, and one of the girls made them into each of the figures from that year. So she made a Harriet Tubman, a Marie Antoinette, a Frederick Douglass. She had all kinds of great little Easter egg art that she made. There are children who make paintings. There are children who paint rocks and wrap them in string. There are others who bring nail painting to paint people's nails, or braiding, or putt-putt, or Whatever your child would like to bring, we welcome it at our market day. And for each stamp that they have in their book, guess what? They will get one Eden Hope Academy dollar. And that's a big deal because the more stamps they get, the more they can enjoy and love buying things at market day. Also, the second benefit of the stamps is that children who complete 90% of their book receive a green t-shirt, a green Eden Hope t-shirt at the end of the year, and children who complete all of their book, which is really hard, but I think that a lot of these kids can do it, will receive a red Eden Hope t-shirt at the end of the year, which shows how much they have worked and tried and just succeeded in learning this year. So remember, these stamps are about encouraging your children to learn and to grow. And we look forward to seeing how much they learn this year because we know it's going to be tremendous. So thanks for joining our next video on how our critical thinking skills class works.